ladies and gentlemen. We are attending a funeral tonight, a memorial service for Jesus of Nazareth, who died tragically at only 33 years old. Tonight we will walk in his footsteps during his last hours on earth. As we walk along, we will see scenes come alive as the actors relate the story and as I read to you. And now I ask you for a moment to just open your heart and mind to the amazing, life-changing story of a man who died so that we could live. Some of the scenes inside involve interaction with the crowd. Feel free to get involved or not. As each scene, I will speak to you and let you know. So right now, if you'd like to come forward and take your time to sign the book of memorial. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Could you men not keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. Here we find the scene of Jesus praying in the garden. Peter is already asleep and the devil is trying to tempt Jesus. Let's see what happens.
Father, please take this cup of suffering from me. Let it be your will. Let it be your will. Let your will be done, Father, not mine, Father. Please, Father.
I offered him this bread and he wouldn't take it.
No, no, take it away. I don't want it. I don't want that. Take it away.
I offered him the world and he wouldn't have it.
No, 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 I don't want it. Take it away from me. No, get that away. Get it away. Why could you not stay and pray with me for 1 hour? 1 hour. That's all.
This was the beginning of Jesus' journey to the cross. He knew the price was high, but he was willing to pay it even for the least of us. He withstood temptation. He cried so hard that his sweat fell like blood. In his hour of need, he looked for Peter and found him asleep. All that he would endure for our sake, and all he wanted. Greetings, Rabbi, and kissed him. At that time, Jesus said to the crowd, "Am I leading a rebellion that you have come with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching, and you did not arrest me. But all this has taken place, that the writing of the prophets might be fulfilled." Then all of the disciples deserted him and fled. Let's see how this scene unfolds.
Trail. Show us the mark.
Rabbi. No.
What have I done? I have betrayed innocent blood. I have betrayed the Son of Man.
If you've ever been betrayed, well, then you know how it feels. Judas betrayed his friend for his own gain. And sometimes we can be the same. To do with that innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of him. Which of the two do you want me to release to you? Asked the governor. Barabbas, they answered. When Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but instead of an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. I am innocent of this man's blood, he said. It is your responsibility. Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus flogged and handed over to be crucified. Here we see the scene.
Not you as well.
He's innocent.
No.
He's a holy man. I had terrible nightmares about it. He's innocent. You can't do it.
Oh, what am I gonna do? Who's it going to be? Jesus of Nazareth, or this Barabbas, the murderer? You decide. I can't do this on my own. Guard, release that prisoner.
Release this prisoner?
Yes, guard, release him. You heard me, release him now. I am innocent of this man's blood. I wash my hands.
Pilate tried to deny his responsibility in condemning Christ. He washed his hands. Here was an innocent man being sentenced, while a murderer went free. Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus flogged and handed over to be crucified. Then the governor's soldiers took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole company. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand and knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on him and took the staff and struck him over and over again on the head. After they had mocked him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. Here is Lictor. His plan is evil, and all his works are designed to hurt and to maim.
Who is this man? The man the people say can perform miracles. Who is he? Guards, bring him in.
At this time, the devil is starting to think that his plan is working out. Little does he know that good always triumphs over evil.